Okay, I think we're ready to go. My apologies. I was going to start. I was actually going to jump on a couple minutes earlier, but Levi, whom you may have seen, my doggy, who you may have seen in the preview video, he was whining at the door and wanted to be let out. I thought it would be really cute if Levi, my mini Australian Shepherd, would hang out in the background and chew on his bone or whatever. That didn't work. Anyway, all right, so I've got a lot of information to go through. I hope you've got something to write with. I hope that you've got all your distractions set aside, because I promise what I'm about to deliver to you is exceptionally valuable. It's similar to the content, although a little bit more expanded than what I've been able to share on major stages. I've shared information similar to this at Social Media Marketing World, at Podcast Movement, at FinCon, and other conferences. And it's been exceptionally valuable for those audiences. Some of them paid big money to be able to see that. And here you are. You get the webinar, you get it for free. All right. And what's really great about this is what I'm going to share with you is our absolute latest research. It's our latest findings, this latest schools of thought as we've been playing with different tools, as we've been testing things, as we've been learning different things and working with clients over the past few years. And I'm going to share with you everything. One thing you need to know about me is I'm absolutely a adherent to the go-giver philosophy, which means you give away as much stuff as you can. You give away, you serve, you give. And I just know, like, my experience, my life has been, if you give and serve audiences, you know what? You'll be perfectly taken care of. So a couple of other housekeeping notes. Welcome. Oh, I forgot to welcome everybody. Welcome Liz, Maria, Peter, Nick, Daryl, David, Ann, Angie, Sue, Faye, Mark, John Squared, John Cubed, and Nick and Rosie and Sadie, Sue, Tim. Welcome everybody and everybody else. And thank you for joining me. Again, put on your seatbelt, because I hate that expression. Never mind. But anyway, but do pay close attention. What I'd recommend is that if you've got multiple tabs open and your computer starts going like that, maybe you want to shut a couple tabs down, because the live video streaming service that we use can be a little bit bandwidth or server intensive. So just give yourself a little bit of peace and nirvana. You're going to school. You're going to the master class here on authority, on publicity, on using these things then to, of course, increase your revenues. So let me see, any other housekeeping? Yes. All right. So because I'm going to give so much value in this webinar, and I'm a big fan of the Twitter. If you hear something and you're like, that was actually pretty insightful, Josh. Thanks. I'm going to write that down. Go ahead and do this. Tweet it out and tag me. Saying, go ahead and take a screenshot if you want, whatever is going on, and share it on the Twitter. And if you tag me at the end at Josh Elledge, which you see on the screen right here, then I will be sure to, at the conclusion of this webinar, I will go and share that, retweet that with all my Twitter peeps. And I got about 36,000 followers on the Twitter. And so I'd be happy to give you some Twitter love. All right. And it'll be a big tweet fest. All right. Also, you should see a question window in the screen. Go ahead and ask questions. This is very much a live, interactive workshop. So if you've got a question, go ahead and ask away. And matter of fact, do this if you would. If you could say in the window right now, if you could say, "Yeah, Josh, I hear you, coming in loud and clear. I see you. Yep, it works." If someone could, okay, thank you, Neil, thank you, Julia, thank you so much. All right, good, it's working. All right, technology is not going to fail us. All right, so if I don't get to your question, please forgive me. Sometimes I get going and I miss it. And so I often find myself playing catch up. But if you would, if I miss your question, I promise Rachel and Carrie Ann are going to go through and are going to, anything that I didn't get, they're going to be like, "Josh, you forgot this question." I'll make sure to email you the answer to your question after the fact. Fair enough? All right, good deal. So let's get going. And again, this presentation is how to become a media celebrity, boost your authority, and make more money. Sound good? All right, so here's what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn how much money you can save and make with excellent publicity and how you can drastically improve any sales funnel. We're going to talk about how you can easily do this yourself, the first steps you need to do to get started today, where to find the best media contacts and how to connect with them, how to make sure you do not commit the cardinal sin in a newsroom. And unfortunately, I see this all the time, and I don't want to think that you would ever do this, but you may. And I want to protect you. I want to stop you from this. How to get on the Today Show. We'll talk about that. As a matter of fact, I was just helping somebody today, had an intro call with them. They're like, well, Josh, we want to get on the Today Show in 2.5 months. And I was like, it's not impossible, but it's a lot of work. And you need to have a few things in place before you can do that. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to finish up by talking about what the number one job of an entrepreneur should be. I'm going to give you massive, massive, massive value. And then at the conclusion as well, I will also give you a quick walkthrough of what we do here at upendPR, which may or may not be a fit for you. But we are absolutely dominating and crushing the public relations space because we've created a completely blue ocean product and service, and that is really, really impacting the lives of so many business owners, and that may be of interest to you. I'll go through a quick walkthrough so you can see exactly what we do. All right, so who am I? And who said I could teach this? All right, I said I could teach this, and I'll tell you why. Because my other company, SavingsAngel.com, we've done nearly $6 million in revenue over the course of 10 years, and we have spent less than, get ready for this, $500 in advertising. And so you're thinking, what? How did that math don't add up? How did we do that? Well, we did it all through what I'm going to teach to you in this workshop. Also, I am a syndicated newspaper columnist, 1.1 million readers, and I've been doing that for the past 8 years through MLive throughout the state of Michigan, in fact, where we launched Savings Angel. By the way, I now live in Orlando, Florida. For any of my Florida peeps, go ahead and you can feel free to give a shout out in the question window. It's like, hey, me too. All right. So also I'm a syndicated TV guy, TV consumer expert in 75 cities. I do that multiple times a month, and I've been doing that for about 3 years. And all told, I've been on TV or radio more than 1,000 times, and I've also been published more than 500 in print or digital. And I'm a podcaster. And I have also spoken and spoken specifically on PR and authority at more than a dozen conferences, including Social Media Marketing World, FinCon, Podcast Movement, a bunch of other shows. So if you're ready to get going, let's talk about who this presentation is for. Well, the presentation is for business owners, entrepreneurs who are committed to some sort of an online presence, and they are willing to get out from behind their computer screen and build their business. All right. It's also for entrepreneurs. I just made somebody nervous. I know. All right. Because someone right now is like, they're building their business behind their computer screen. They're like, all right, I guess I got to get out there. All right. Yes, you do. All right, I'm going to talk about that and how to do that. All right, also, this is for entrepreneurs with grit. If you're just a tire kicker in business, you don't believe in investing in your business, you don't believe in, it's just you're a solopreneur and that's it, and that's all you want to do, and you just want to do your little job, and you're going to like the information, but you're probably not going to take action on it. And that's unfortunate because I think you have potential to do much more. But again, if you're satisfied with that life, fantastic. All right. Also, I find that if you are not, which I mentioned investments, getting and growing your authority, becoming a thought leader is just going to take the efforts of more than one person. And that's another reason why I would challenge you to consider expanding your team, expanding your circle of experts that you surround yourself with and you learn from, and that perhaps you contract to help grow your business. Because I know this firsthand. It takes the effort of a lot of people, a lot of knowledge, a lot of thought, a lot of tools, a lot of resources to really make big, amazing things happen. So again, if you're dabbling in business, or also if you're looking to get rich quick overnight, it's probably not going to be your jam. But I'll share it with you anyway. All right. So what's my story? Well, SavingsAngel, I mentioned, I launched over 10 years ago. And when I started it, I don't know what your position is money-wise, but when I started, I really was in an unfortunate position that my primary income kind of dwindled shortly after launching SavingsAngel. I didn't have a lot of money. So I couldn't afford Google Ads or whatever else, at that time I could have spent, maybe a little bit, but I didn't because my background, I served in the United States Navy, thank you very much, for 5 years as a U.S. Navy journalist and also owned a small town newspaper for a couple of years. I had a little bit of experience. I worked in radio a little bit. And in fact, I went to school to study. When I studied, I got my bachelor's in family science. My intention was to actually be a love doctor on the radio, and got distracted with the whole internet thing. And again, SavingsAngel, which we launched 10 years ago, was pretty exciting because we had a good concept. We wanted to help consumers cut their grocery bill in half. We've been very successful at that. Started working with local radio, started working with our local newspaper. I started writing for that newspaper. Then I started writing more regularly for that newspaper. And then I started writing for this newspaper's syndicate. And so I started writing a syndicated column, started doing more TV, which led to major market TV, Chicago, national stuff. And that has led to, again, me having the opportunity to be in the media over 1,500 times. And it's really fun because it helps. We have a mission at SavingsAngel. We really want to help fill the cups of our audience so that they can better fill the cups of others. I just believe that that's how abundance is created, is you empower the people who want to give. And so the media has allowed me to do that. It's allowed me to increase my authority, and it's allowed SavingsAngel to grow. At times it felt like autopilot. We would have 6-figure months and 7-figure years and be like, my goodness, it's like, we're still not doing any marketing here. All we're doing is just simply, showing up and serving audiences. And I want you to, and if you're going to tweet something, this is a really great thing to tweet. And that is that if you enjoy serving audiences, you're going to find publicity, PR, and growing your authority is going to be very easy for you. People who are just about selling to audiences, it's tougher. You always have to wake up every morning thinking, who am I going to sell to today? And it's a tough way to grow a business. So I'm going to challenge you to change how you see what you do, because I don't know why you got into your thing. Maybe it's your mission. Maybe you're just in it for the money. God bless you if that's the case. No judgment here. I love money. Maybe you got into it because you wanted to become famous. Whatever it is, I want to help you do more of that. So if you have a mission to fulfill, okay, if you have a big stage, if you have a big platform, if you have a big audience, and you network with really, I would say important, but just people who also have large stages and large audiences, you know what? Your mission, to the moon. It really can happen that quickly. And I don't know if you're frustrated like I am. When I started, and then I think, when I started kind of dabbling in podcasting, for example. When I started podcasting a few years ago, I was a nobody. I remember going to the first Podcast Movement conference, who I've now spoken at, and I'm now doing my own conference, a sister conference to Podcast Movement. And I remember the first year I showed up, and I remember just doing loops. They had this little after hours mixer, and I knew like 5 people in the room, and in the House of Blues where we were having the thing. And I just kind of mosey around, and because that's what you do at House of Blues. And I just didn't know anybody. I'm like, dude, I feel like I feel just so unimportant. And we've all been there, right? I'm sure you know what that feels like. It's scary. It kind of stinks. It's no good. And then I would see these people who were being celebrated on stage and had these, this this big entourage around him. And I'm like, oh man, in my world, like in the couponing and the money saving world, I'm a little bit of a rock star. But in the podcasting world, I'm a nobody. All right. Well, that changed after years of service, after years of working on my brand. I became a somebody in the podcasting world. All right. And so I want to help you become a somebody. Because I don't know if you saw this movie Finding Dory, but I love this scene. I feel like Gerald, who's the goofy sea lion you see here in the picture, he's kind of my spirit animal. I'm sorry. I've got questions here. Let's see, podcasting. I will get to that. I'll get to all that stuff. All right. Thank you for submitting that stuff though. I will get to those. All right. My spirit animal, sometimes I feel like, is Gerald. Gerald just wants to hang out on the rock with the cool sea lions. And there's a problem. The cool sea lions don't really want Gerald to hang out on the rock with them. And so how can you I hate to say hang out with the cool kids, but you know what I mean, right? Like we'd all love Oprah to call us up and celebrate our product or service. Like we all think about that. And we all have this belief that we're going to get discovered. And I'm going to burst that bubble right now. Okay. You are not going to get discovered. It's a myth. It's not how it happens. So it's harsh truth, and I'm sorry. I think a lot of us just feel like we can, and you know what? There are thought leaders, there are teachers out there, I've heard them, and they say, if you want to become known, then all you need to do is just produce better content. Okay? I don't agree with that. You could produce the best content in the world, you can have the best product or service in the world, and if nobody hears about you, it's like being an artist and painting paintings in your basement. Okay? No one's going to see them. Okay, maybe you might have, you got to let people know, right? And the more you let people know, then the more you will work toward being quote unquote discovered. But here's your tweet. If you're going to tweet this. If you want to get discovered, you have to make discovery happen. You have to do it. If you're a creative, you're just going to have to get out there. If you're a business owner, you cannot build your business from behind your computer screen. Somebody's going to have to do the advertising, the selling, the marketing, the publicity, the serving audiences, the networking, right? That's how businesses get built. And I want that for you. I want a big business for you. I want you to become a subject matter expert. I want you to become a thought leader, because when thought leaders launch stuff, thought leaders tend to do very well, because guess what? They surround themselves with other thought leaders and other people with big audiences and big microphones, big stages, right? And so, yeah, sure, it's real easy to have a six-figure launch when you surround yourself with other people who are used to having six-figure launches. So how do you get into these circles? Well, again, that's what this presentation is all about. I want that for you. Okay, let's take a couple of scenarios, because I know a lot of people are really into ads. And you know what? I'm a big fan of advertising. I don't do it myself, but I know that I love people who do. But I want to kind of paint this scenario of you as a business owner, and you can see on the slide here, I Googled twins because I wanted to show, like, here's twin A, twin B, and here's and I got Eng and Chang Bunker, who are the Siamese twins from the Guinness Book of World Records. What I got. So anyway, let's share the story of Eng and Chang Bunker, shall we? So Eng, twin A, is a business owner, and Chang is also a business owner. And Eng, I get them confused. This feels insensitive in some way. So Eng is really big on Facebook ads. Like, he just can't get enough of that. And that's great. God bless him for that. Facebook, I'm not going to say Facebook ads don't work. They absolutely do work. He dumps all his money into Facebook ads, and, he puts in $100, and sometimes he comes out ahead, sometimes he doesn't, just depending on how competitive it is. But generally, he's kind of working at it. He's, dumping money out and bringing it in, and, he's steadily kind of growing his business, and it's growing in a linear fashion. And meanwhile, Chang is like, oh man, this is no good. Eng is making all this money. He's growing his business. It's working. And what should I do? So Chang, rather than advertise, Chang just works on his publicity. Chang works on his authority. Chang works on networking. Chang works on being known. Chang works on serving large audiences, getting in the media, networking with all these influential people. And here's what's gonna happen. At first, it's going to feel like Ang is really growing his thing, and Chang is just kind of talking to people, right? And just like he's learning to teach, and he's like learning these skills, and he's out there serving. He just keeps his head down. He keeps, he's doing his thing. But he's a little bit jealous of Ang, who Ang appears to be doing all the right stuff. But here's what's going to happen. In about, I don't know when it is. I don't know when it is in this story, I'm going to tell you it's going to take Chang maybe about a year or two. In your case, it might happen faster. It might happen slower. Okay, but at some point, if you work on authority, you will get to a point where your business, it'll like hockey stick. It will grow exponentially. It's a longer runway to get there because you just simply have to build out your reputation. But you will get to a point where it will feel like it just grows on its own. And you couldn't even stop it if you wanted to. That's what happened to Chang in year 2. Now, this is back in 1811. So, no, I guess they didn't have Facebook ads back then and all this other stuff. But it really did happen for Chang. So again, you have to decide what you want. Maybe you want to do a little bit of both. But if you do neither, stagnation, my brothers and sisters, stagnation in business. And stagnation in business kind of sucks. And I don't want that for you. I want you to grow. I want you to flourish. So you're going to have to do something. So I'm all about building the authority because I really love getting to that point where you've paid your dues and now it just like all this amazing stuff happens for you. Let me talk to you about, I'm going to give you an example here about how valuable authority is because exposure or authority is a currency. And the more authority you have, the more successful you are at stuff. Okay, when someone who is super well known and everybody knows and loves that person does a Facebook ad, do you think they do okay? Well, yeah, they do, right? So meanwhile, let's say you're advertising and you have no authority. Like you're kind of an unknown. Like you're just like, you're again, like, back in our example, you're just being like Ang. Nobody knows you. All right. Maybe you'll come out ahead. Maybe you won't. But I'm just going to tell you that, having authority is like having a lot of muscles, right? It's easier to stay in shape when you've got that muscle mass with you. All right. So I'll give you a great example. So let's say, and we've all had this experience where you get an email and you're like, who's this person? What are they asking for? All right. And so you decide whether or not it's worth your time to respond. Today I did this. In fact, it's ridiculous, but I spent about 5 minutes trying to figure out who the person was before I even responded. Cause I want to know, are they someone that I should be spending my time? And we're all like this. We're all just a little bit, we're all busy. This is why we do this. But we categorize people and we look for certain cues to figure out whether or not we should spend our time with this person. So call it the email test. And when you email somebody or when you receive an email from somebody, you're going to put that email into one of 4 categories. Number 1, this person is really important. I'm going to respond to them right away. And then you do. That's number 1. Number 2, this person's really important. I'm going to respond to them. I can't do it right now, but I'll do it later. And then you do. That's number 2. Number 3, this person looks pretty important. I'm going to respond to them later. And then you forget about it. Actually, I find that I end up doing number 3 a little bit too often, which is why I have an assistant to help with that. Number 4 is, who's this person? Why are they emailing me? Yeah, no thanks. Don't have time. Okay. Every time you reach out to an influencer, every time you reach out to the media, you're getting hyper sorted. And it's because they're just busy. Like journalists are busy, influencers are busy, successful entrepreneurs are busy. Don't take offense. It's just, you just didn't really show up on their radar. Now here's the sad thing. You don't know why. You'll never know why you showed up as a number 4. And they're not going to tell you. All right. But I'm going to reveal to you some things that are going to give you some major indicators of why you fell into category number 4 and things that you can fix so that you will be a category 1 or 2. I mean, that's what we do. At upendPR, we help our members always show up in category 1 or 2. When they pitch the media, guess what? They get it because they're seen as an expert. Before they started working with us, they were like, Josh, I tried PR. It doesn't work. Like, why doesn't it work? Well, I emailed 10 people and nobody responded back. Well, let's take a look at why. All right. And based on the information in this webinar, I'll share with you what we discovered with them. So let me share with you, let's say that we do get that thing figured out for you, right? And you've got your authority, right? Why would you spend your time serving audiences? Now, whether it's the media, whether it's working with big time YouTubers, we've placed through upendPR. I mean, we've gotten people on with YouTube celebrities that have like over 2 million subscribers. We've done all of the above. All right, it really doesn't matter who it is that you or if you're like, well, Josh, I only want to work with podcasters. Great. Guess what? The rules apply. The rules are the same. Doesn't matter if you want to work with traditional media. I just like working with TV because it's real easy and there's a lot less competition there. So if you have a stomach for it, then you can actually do quite well. But I want to share with you why I like to do a lot of TV. Look at these 2 charts here on the screen. The bottom one is our traffic to SavingsAngel. You see that spike with the little red arrow pointing at it? Well, that's Tuesday morning. And that's for years and years and years. That's when I did my Fox 35 segment. All right. And so that's a nice little spike. Now, this chart above are enrollments. And every time we get an enrollment, that means someone paid us $20. Now we actually just changed our business model because we actually, I had to focus because we started doing so much business with upendPR. I actually had to give up some things that I love, but it's the right thing to do. But for years and years and years and years, this is what we saw every single week. So I want you to think about what, how much it costs you to acquire 50 to 100 customers. Because all those spikes, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, it's anywhere from 50 to 60, 75. So there's 50 to 75 enrollments every Tuesday. Pretty good, right? Now, what would you have to pay in Facebook ads to get that many enrollments? Probably a lot, right? And guess how much I pay? I don't pay anything. I have a relationship. I've got some skills, and I've got some knowledge that I get to give. And I serve that audience. And I don't sell SavingsAngel. I just give value to that audience. All right. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Another person says, let's say, John, okay, how do you get on TV? Okay. I will talk about that. I think a little bit, just a little bit. I'm gonna talk about like how to get on the Today Show and stuff. All right, and I'm actually gonna go through some stuff like how to get yeses when working with the media. Honestly, I want to say it's not really rocket science, but your perception, what I'm talking about right now, means all the difference. It's everything. All right, it is the difference between a yes and a no. So what are they looking for? I'll get to that. All right, so we're talking about your sales funnel. I want you to make a lot of money. And I believe with PR, you can make a lot of money. I believe that, the more that you do, the more exposure you have, the bigger and bigger influencers that you are seen with and serving and being on their podcasts, their shows, their YouTube channels, their social media channels, stuff's going to happen for you. It really, really will. I mean, we've just seen this pattern over and over and over again at upendPR. And what's going to happen now, as you become more and more known, and when you're seen in the media, the people, when they come to find you, they feel like they know, like, and trust you already. And I mean, you've all heard that. I'm sure you've heard that saying, people do business with those whom they know, like, and trust. Right. And so, again, if you're just advertising and you're nothing but a ShamWow guy, then it's going to be okay, but you could do a lot better. Because when you're known and people you've given value and you've served that audience, then people who come to visit you, that is a hot lead. They like you. You've already invested in their bank. And so now they want to come be closer to you and learn more from you. And they want to find out what you have to offer. Right? And so they come to your website, and as a result, your conversion rate is much higher than if all your relationship was only based on just selling ads to them. All right. So, how much money can you make with great publicity? Well, publicity on its face, like if you do a 2-minute TV segment, it's at least 3 times as valuable as if you were to do a 2-minute advertisement. Okay, advertising gives you high control, low trust. Publicity and serving audiences gives you lower control on the message, right? Because it has to be about what the most value for the audience. You can't just get on TV and just sell, because you'll never be invited back. All right. Don't do that. But if you serve, then you will be invited back, and people are just going to like you more. And so, again, why do I say it's 3 times more valuable? Because you're building relationships with audiences. And when if you have a bunch of raving fans, you're in a pretty sweet spot. All right. So here we go. Let's talk about your business plan. Let's kind of compare advertising versus getting media endorsements or getting influencers to say nice things about you. Well, if you're advertising, let's say that you've got 1,000 visitors, do some Facebook ads, and you got a 5% conversion rate. That's pretty good. On a $20 product, that means you get 50 sales in a week. So if you invest $500 in advertising, let's say you're paying 50 cents per per click. That's pretty good. That means that if you're earning $1,000, you invest $500 in advertising, you're getting a $500 profit. That is a really good scenario on Facebook ads. I know some people say, I can do a lot better than that. Good for you. All right. I'm just saying on average, let's say you're able to double your profit in ads. All right. That's pretty good, right? Now, some weeks, we know, like some weeks it works a lot better than others. Then you have to change up your strategy, and Facebook wants to get more money out of you. But here's the reality. Like 50%, where does 50% of your revenue go? It's gone. It goes to Facebook. That's what you pay, right? And so if you stop advertising, how many new sales will you get every single week? None. Right? So you're kind of on the hamster wheel here. I mean, you could probably sell more to your audiences, but if you want to get more new blood, you're just going to have to pay for it every single time. Because again, you spent all your time working on ads and not on your authority. So let's compare this now to getting media endorsements or endorsements from thought leaders and or influencers. All right? And when I talk about like influencer marketing, I'm not talking about paying $20,000 to have, Kim Kardashian. I know she's not going to do anything for $20,000. But let's say some mid-level social media influencer. All right. I'm not talking about that. None of our clients, I've never done paid influencer stuff. None of our clients have ever done paid influencer stuff. Here's a great tweet for you. Ready? Remember, tag me at Josh Elledge. The best way to do influencer marketing is to become an influencer yourself. Because influencers do stuff for each other. Influencers do stuff for each other all the time. So just become an influencer. That's a lot easier. Right. So let's talk about you getting on TV or you getting on a major podcast. Let's say you end up getting 200 visitors to your website. Well, these people all really like you because they just spent all this time with you learning from you. Right. If you have I would assume that you would have about a 25% conversion rate on these people. That's completely within the norm on a $20 product. So how much did you spend for that? Well, if you drove to a TV station, maybe $10. I believe in investing in PR smartly. And certainly through upendPR, we can really speed up the process for you. You can do PR on yourself by yourself. It's just really expensive in the long run because it's just going to take you forever. And so you have lost opportunity and you have lost revenue because you're just not doing anything. You're just so slow in business. So upendPR is kind of designed to speed up the process. So anyway, so that's part of your investment as well. You should invest in tools, resources. UpendPR is generally about one third to 1/5 of the cost of most PR agencies. So I'm kind of a fan of the way we do things. But aside from that, let's say you invest $10 for gas, you earn $1,000 on this $20 product that you sold to 50 people. That means your profit margin was $990 out of that $1,000 earned. It means you get to keep $4,247. Now, here's the cool thing. Once you set up the machine, it pays you for life. Once you build relationships with influencers, unless you turn into a jerk, you know what? You're going to still keep earning money because you get to keep serving those audiences over and over and over again. It's a nice position to be in. And now, where does money come from in business? Okay. Well, have Mr. Krabs tell you it comes from exposures, the number of people who hear about you, come visit your website, times your conversion rate. Okay, conversion rates based on, how well you're kind of presenting what you have to offer and, how much you've invested in that relationship with that audience. And then some of them are going to buy from you. That's just the way that it is. For example, we've got, roughly 25, 30 people on this webinar right now. Some of you are going to buy, some of you aren't. That's great. I hope that everybody, however, says, oh my gosh, Josh knows what he's talking about. I gained some extremely valuable stuff. And maybe someday down the road when you do have budget, that maybe you and I could do some great work together. Okay, but I'm cool with that, with whatever percentage that is. I just love serving audiences. And then if you have a recurring product, then obviously your retention comes into play in that as well. And so you want to keep people on the books and, have them happy and paying you money over and over and over again. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, that's where you get your income. Round of applause, please. Thank you very much. So that's where money comes from. All right. So think about how much money you make with each new customer. Now, imagine if you had hot leads, people who already really, really love you. They're already ready to buy your thing. Wouldn't that be cool if you had hundreds of hot leads regularly visiting your website every single week? How much more would you be earning right now? Okay. What would happen if you would have started this a year ago? Where do you think you'd be at today? Okay. Don't kick yourself a year from now and say, Josh was talking about this, but I didn't do anything about it. All right. Please don't be in that position. Please just follow my advice. Do it yourself with my own advice, DIY, or, let us help you to speed up the process. But please don't do nothing. Don't keep just doing your thing, your product or your service, right? Because there's no reason that you can't become a thought leader. Where do thought leaders come from? Right? Thought leaders they were good at a thing, and then they just started teaching other people how to do it and just started teaching bigger and bigger and bigger audiences how to do that thing. Right? That's kind of what we're doing with upendPR. That's what we do with SavingsAngel. That's what we do with all of our money. We've had hundreds of members through upendPR. It's the same formula for everybody, and it works. And as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter if you're talking about radio, TV, magazine, newspapers, social media, blogs, forums, podcasts, videos, YouTube. I don't care. The rules are the same. Rules of engagement with influencers are the same. Okay? You have to have authority yourself. And when you have it, you're just seen as much more credible. And then people are much more likely to say yes. So, can you do this yourself? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can do this yourself. And in fact, if you have no budget, then I would highly recommend you do this rather than taking out a loan for, say, $8,000 and hiring a few months of a PR agency's time. I don't think that would be very good money spent at that level. All right. In the future, you might consider taking on a full-time PR agency. What upendPR, we're kind of in the middle. We work with startups and digital entrepreneurs that are looking for a solution, under $2,000. They're not quite ready, for that $4,000 to $8,000 to $20,000 a month, but they really want to start getting the ball rolling, and they really want to start working on their authority, getting their exposure, really increasing their success rate. That's who we work with. So, are you ready to start pitching now? Well, I'd say hold on there, right? And let's talk about the things that you really need to pay very close attention to. And it's going to mean the difference between being a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And remember, I want you to be a 1 or a 2. So what are you judged on? Well, number 1, you're judged on your website. Okay? If you've got a crappy website, I'm sorry, but people aren't going to respond to your emails. Journalists aren't going to respond to your emails. Influencers aren't going to respond to your emails because you're just not prime time yet. I mean, I've had some people that I really, really like, and I go to their website and I'm like, geez, I don't think I could really do much with them because I just don't think that it's going to be a very successful joint venture. So again, thought leaders are very good at joint ventures because they have successful systems, they have efficient websites, it's all set up. Now, you don't have to be a web developer, but you definitely need to have a clean website. And so that means you either need to invest in a web developer, designer, on Upwork, or heaven forbid Fiverr would be, I mean, if you have to, but at least get yourself a nice WordPress website, get a theme, and make sure that you have certain things in place. You should have stuff like a press kit. Every business needs to have a press kit. If you don't, your success rate, bam, just took a 10 to 15% nosedive. Why? Because you're not making it easy. If you want to work with the media, if you want to work with influencers, you need to provide them an executive summary and show them that you're already working with influencers and media. Does that make sense? Now at upendPR, we do that for our members. We help them. Everybody gets a press kit. I mean, it's mandatory because it's low-hanging fruit. That's a simple thing to fix. All right. Now you can go and Google press kits. I mean, it's not rocket science, but please do it. We've got a simple form-driven system with videos. We step you through everything, and then we actually review it through upendPR, and that's at all levels because we're big fans of that. We've seen before and after, and a press kit's going to help you become much more successful. Also, a couple of other things. Here's an assignment right now. Don't do it right. Well, go ahead and do it right now. Open up your website. Scroll to the very bottom. Does it say copyright 2016 or 17? I hope it says 2017. I've seen people who have like copyright. I mean, they're like legit business owners. I go to their website and it says copyright like 2014. I'm like, geez, is anybody, did everybody fall asleep at the wheel over there? I mean, it's small things like that. Not having a mobile responsive website, it's like, it seriously doesn't seem like you're full time. I mean, that's what you're communicating when you have simple mistakes on your website like that. So we want to help you with that. All right. So we do all of our gold members and above. We do website authority reviews every 90 days. And we go through and we do a video review every 90 days. And we tell you the stuff that you need to fix so that influencers and media say yes to you. Because when they say yes to you, you just get better opportunities. All right. So number one is your website. Honestly, just fix it. Fix your darn website. Number two is your digital reputation. Okay. If you email me, and I don't know who you are, I'm going to Google you, right? There's probably going to be some things that I know are going to come up, and I'm going to share those in the next two slides, but I'm going to look at what Google says about you. And if it looks something like this, where it's just like you in a, what is that, a leotard, unitard? I don't know what that is. It's not good, is what it is. So how do you improve your digital reputation? You just need to serve digital content producers. So podcasters, bloggers, find ways to do good stuff for people. Like, I'm not talking about emailing people and saying, I would like to guest blog and I want you to link to my website. Like, don't do that crap because everybody hates that. Please don't ever do that. But if you are authentic and organic about it and you offer to give value without any expectation of return, if you were to pitch somebody and you were to say, look, I really love your blog. Obviously you have a great audience. It would be my dream to be able to teach something on your blog. I don't need, and these are the keywords right here. If you're writing notes, write this down. Okay. I don't need any links back. I don't need any promotion. That's not why I'm doing this. I really would just like to give back because I've gotten so much value from your blog. And I happen to be, pretty smart. I'm a subject matter expert on this. I've been writing about this for nearly a year now or 6 months now. And I've really done a lot of research on this. But again, the magic words are, I don't need any links back. I don't need any promotion. That's not why I'm doing it. Right? You say those magic words. Guess what a professional is going to do? Guess they're going to promote you. They're going to credit you. That's what professionals do. But here's the thing. You can't ask for it. If you ask for it, then it just communicates to them, that's the only reason you're doing this. So again, if you're a giver, if you serve, okay, you'll then get placement, right? So you can Google my name and you can see exactly what comes up when you Google Josh Elledge. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good, right? Because I've served a lot of people. And I love podcasts, for example. So I do a ton of podcast interviews. A lot of our members do a ton of podcast interviews on big shows. So I've got, who asked that question about Entrepreneur on Fire? Yes, Joe, I can get you on Entrepreneur on Fire. We do that a lot. It might take you a little while because, again, we need to work on your reputation. We need to work on the content you're producing. And then, yes, I would be happy to make an introduction to John and Kate, who I've been on their show. We've done stuff together, but we do stuff together with lots of different people. And the more stuff you do together with people, then the more good stuff that's going to happen for you and your business. Let's continue on. Next, what does Twitter say about you? And if your Twitter, and you might say, well, I don't really like Twitter. I don't care if you like Twitter. I don't care if you like the telephone, right? But you should probably consider using the telephone as a communications platform. Similarly, on Twitter, you don't have to like it as a social media platform, right? But you should use it as a communications tool. Why? Because about 90% of influencers, in my experience, actively use Twitter, particularly those in the media. It's closer to 95%. Media love using Twitter, and it's really easy to make friends with people on Twitter if you do it right. Right? So we do through upendPR. We're really bullish on getting our people really successful on Twitter. I love it. I've got, like I said, I've got about 36,000 followers or more on Twitter. And again, I don't love it necessarily as a social media platform. I love it as a tool to communicate with anyone I want. And so, by the way, our upendPR members, like I said, we get them on average about 300 followers or more every single month. Plus, we just designed for them a profile that's going to get a lot of attention. And is that going to make a difference for you? Absolutely. It will absolutely make a difference for you. Twitter is a great platform for reaching out to an influencer for the first time, okay, rather than email. Like, you can use both of them at the same time, but I really like Twitter for that first, hey, so-and-so, love that article that you shared. I write about this subject, please let me know if I can ever be of service. That's all right. I mean, that would probably work in many cases. So if you did something like that and then asked for an invitation to zip them an email or a DM or something like that, that could probably result in something if everything else looks good, because they'll check you out. Like this stuff we're talking about, they're going to look at your profile, and that's going to determine whether or not they say yes or no. All right. And they might Google you. They might look at your website, and then they'll tell you yes or no. And if they see something they don't like, they'll probably just ignore you, and you'll never know why. And why is because of the stuff I'm talking about right now. Okay. And then one thing that's probably going to come up in your Google search results is your LinkedIn profile. And again, if I want to see what your professional experience is and your online resume, well, I'm going to look you up on LinkedIn. I do that a lot when someone emails me. And so your LinkedIn better look good. All right. You don't have to have a gazillion followers, but it needs to be complete. So our gold members and above at upendPR, we do LinkedIn authority reviews every 90 days for those members, because it's really important. It can mean the difference between yeses and nos. And again, yeses are better because you can make a lot of money with yeses. Nos are just frustrating. Like, we hate nos. All right. So are you ready for business? Well, a couple things that I would probably challenge you to do before you get real visible. I also subscribe to the don't worry, be crappy philosophy. Just get out and start doing the thing. All right. You're going to get better as you do it. All right. But I know one thing, that if we were to sit down, like if I were to go through all, 30 or so of your 25, 30 year websites right now, guarantee we're going to go through, and probably about a third to half of you, I'm going to go to your website and I'm going to say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, where's the call to action? So today, it's really important that you have a singular call to action. And that singular call to action is going to be something like, probably not buy my thing, right? The days of those really long sales pages and you kind of read all the junk and you get to the bottom and you're like, $50 for an ebook? Really? I mean, those days are kind of behind us. Now it's about giving, building trust, and then saying, here, grab my free thing. Like on our website at upendPR, most of you probably grabbed our roadmap, and the roadmap is super valuable. It's designed that way. Why is it designed that way? Because I want you to like me. It's just so weird. Like, it feels so meta talking about this. But I just know that if your audience is like you, then they're much more likely to go into that next step in the funnel. Okay, so I just want to throw this out there. I don't want you to do PR just for your ego's sake. I want you to do PR because I want you to make a lot of money. And I want you to grow your mission. And I want you to grow your authority so stuff can be a lot easier. Okay? You deserve it. I'm sure you work really hard at what you do. And then there's nothing more frustrating than working so hard and your spouse or loved one or partner or whatever is like, hey, how much money are we going to make this month? And you're like, I don't know. Hopefully it's going to be good, right? You try to keep an optimistic spirit. I want you on the other side of that because I know what that's like. It sucks running a business and not making any money. But it's also pretty awesome when you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, we made over $4,000 yesterday in one day. I mean, that's a really good feeling. And I want that for you. It's pretty cool. So let's get back to how to date a journalist. Well, here's the rule. All right, this is the number one rule of getting to know an influencer or a journalist. You ready? This is a good tweetable too. Please tweet this and tag me. The rule is don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. That's it. As long as you're not creepy, if you're helpful, if you're cool, if you're just there to serve, then it's probably going to go pretty well for you. That's it. That's how you date a journalist. So how can you have more success with this? Well, a lot of times, like press releases, for example, which I'll talk about in just a second. A lot of times people blast, this is what their idea of PR is. And I do this in workshops all the time. I say, all right, for the next 15 minutes, I want you to go do PR stuff. And I make people sweat a little bit and let maybe like 15 seconds go by. And as people are kind of like nervously looking around, I say, all right, I'm not going to make you do that. But let me ask you, if you had to do 15 minutes of PR work right now, what would you do? And people say, well, I don't know, I'd probably email people. And I'd be like, great, what would you tell them? Oh, like we just launched a new version of our service or, I don't know, like we have some new lead magnet or something like that. And let me ask you a question. Is that newsworthy? And people are going to be like, well, no, it's not newsworthy. That's right. So why are you promoting it? Why are you burning? It's like when you have a relationship, you give into that relationship and then you take, right? It's kind of this symbiotic relationship. It's just like you give, and then maybe you have an ask. Well, you don't want to ask too often. So when you do ask, it really needs to be something that really is going to be successful. And so I'm going to tell you right now that a good ask is something that is going to make the other person look good. It's going to make the journalist look good. It's going to make their job easy. It's something that they're looking for. It's a win-win. You're going to make money with it in a roundabout way, or you're going to build your audience in a roundabout way. But how can you provide them what they need? Well, if you're working with the media, you cannot, unless you're like Apple or Disney or something like that, when you launch a new product, guess what? Nobody cares. We don't care, right? Because no one's talking about it already around the water cooler, right? You need to pitch stuff around what people are already talking about. We call this newsjacking. And it's basically you get to be a voice and have a point of view on a particular topic on something that the media is already going to talk about. right? And so, a story I recently did not too long ago was, back to school a while ago. And so there's the tax holiday. And so are people talking about that? Absolutely. Everyone in the state of Florida is going nuts over their 6.5 or 6% savings. Meanwhile, I do a segment and I'm like, guys, please, 6%, all right? That hardly raises my heart rate from, 62 beats per minute to 63 beats per minute. It's just 6% is not going to get, that's my unique point of view. And having a unique point of view is what's going to get you in the door, right? If you are a historian and your big thing is, Hitler was kind of a jerk, right? That's like, no one's going to, like, the media is not going to be like, really? I hadn't really, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about it. Like, that's, nobody cares. Like, that's not newsworthy. That's not a unique point of view. Like, everybody unanimously agrees Hitler's kind of a jerk, right? He did some bad, evil stuff. So if you have a point of view that is unique and it's memorable, then journalists are going to like you. Right. And it should also, you're also going to kind of fill in and tell the bigger story. So obviously, I'm back on my example of doing the tax holiday thing in the state of Florida for back to school. They want me to share the facts. And I did. As a matter of fact, you go on YouTube right now and you can watch that story. Go to youtube.com/SavingsAngel and you can watch that story and you'll see exactly what I was talking about. All right, so that's newsjacking, all right? And if you wait too long, it's no longer a story. It's like as soon as it's breaking, as soon as it starts looking like it's going to trend, I want you to reach out to all of your influencer friends, and I want you to offer to be of service. If this is something, if it's a story that you really care about, strike while the iron is hot. Cool. All right, so what's another thing you should be doing? Well, is that, by the way, we send emails out to all of our members alerting them of stuff that they should be pitching on a regular basis. Because sometimes people are like, Josh, I just don't know what to pitch on, right? We give you a lot of ideas. We track the news. We know what people are talking about. We know what the media is after, and we send those out to you. All right, next, what's a tool that you may consider using? Helperreporter.com, otherwise known as Haro. Now, Haro can be a lot of work. And what this is it's an email that comes out 3 times a day, and it's filled with journalists who need to quote an expert in a story. So if you get the email and you're like, scrolling through the email and you see, hey, I can comment on that. And so a couple hours have gone by and then you respond. Well, guess what? That journalist has already probably gotten about 100 or so responses. So if you wait too long, generally, unless it's in a super hyper niched area, I've got a great example of personal finance people. Man, it is easy to be an expert in the personal finance field, man. I mean, speaking as a consumer expert, it's just really easy to get quoted. Some things are a little bit more competitive. Like if you're a life coach, good luck. Good luck, because there's a lot of life coaches that want to use services like free Haro services. But here's how you win at Haro. You got to be first. You got to be fast. You have to do exactly what the reporter asks for, right? Don't respond back and say, yes, I would love to give you a quote on that. Why don't you give me a phone call and we can talk about this and we can become really good friends, right? They're not going to respond to you because they said, I need a quote. Give them a quote. And write it in third person so they can copy and paste it directly into their story. That's what I do, and it works. All right? So you got to be first, fast. You got to do exactly what they say. And like all that other stuff we were talking about earlier, like your reputation, yeah, guess what? They care about that. They don't want to quote nobodies. So you got to look like a somebody. You got to get on Sea Lion Rock. And then if you do those 3 things, you're going to be much more successful at Haro. And again, these are journalists that need to quote experts. It's a great lead source. It's a great source to build relationships. Matter of fact, go through our blog. We've got lots of information on Haro. By the way, our members get Haro alerts 2 hours before anybody else does. So you talk about shooting fish in a barrel. If you've got a decent reputation and you followed my advice and we've got videos that tell you everything, like how to knock it out of the park with Haro. And then now you get the 2-hour early access. That's why I say it's like shooting fish in a barrel. We had one member, I'll share in just a little bit, Mark, got 55 media placements in 1 month specifically because of our agency level hero that we offer all of our upendPR members. All right, so that's that. A lot of people are like, well, Josh, can I just send out press releases? Because I thought that that's what PR is. Well, look, press releases have a purpose. And I have a really good article, long form article, all about this on our blog. And it's got a video on it and everything. And I talk about this. Press releases are valuable, but you have to have very realistic expectations about what you can get out of them. You are not going to get a lot of media pickup from your press release. The most valuable thing you can get out of a press release is when you brag about all of the guaranteed placements that you get. Now, you don't have to tell your audience it's guaranteed placement. Like, we guarantee 150 media placements every month to our platinum members. You're going to get it, like, guaranteed. And they're all like legit news websites. Okay, here's the reality though. It's not going to get seen by a whole lot of people. You might end up having like 100 people that see it. Your press release that you just spent. And if you go to PR Newswire, which I consider to be the gold standard for press releases, it's $1,700. Don't waste your time on Fiverr press releases. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of effort. It's no good. It's not going to do you any value. Right. So now some people might argue with me. I've just never seen it work. I certainly would never take one of our members' money and advise that technique. But PR Newswire, you'll be able to see, and I'll show you in just a second, like how our memberships work. But we basically are able to send a $1,700 press release every single month at a platinum member. And guess what? Our prices aren't even close to $1,700 a month. How we do it? It's because we've negotiated because of the volume that we do. We're able to just get a much better deal on that. All right, so press releases, again, I would say that if you're a struggling startup, no, I would advise you not to spend $1,000 and put all your hopes, dreams, and prayers on a single press release. You're going to be very disappointed. But again, if you get the press release and you start bragging about, oh my gosh, guys, we were in Yahoo News, woo! This is awesome. Like, that is what's going to move the needle on your existing audience. And you can use that, and you can use those logos on your website, and that's going to improve your conversion rate. So in some cases, yes, press releases can absolutely help you make more money. So what about pitching? Well, pitching, I believe, should be very authentic, should be organic, and it should be based on, sending a pitch should feel like the natural next step. If you're pitching too early, you're being like that person I'm sure you've gone to a conference or some sort of a mixer or something like that, and you're just like talking to people. This guy comes up and he just goes into full-on sales mode. Is that annoying or what? It is. It's like, are you even a human? Is what you want to ask that person. So when you approach influencers and you don't have a relationship with them and you just go into pitch mode, it's the same thing. So stop, please, don't do that. So again, just be natural, be normal, don't be creepy, serve. And then at the right point, it will feel like, hey, just out of curiosity, would you be open to me, maybe doing a segment together, or could we do a podcast interview together? Here's kind of the information that I would share, And you've only done that after you've spent some time cultivating the relationship. Then you should do all right. Preparing for an interview, gosh, we don't really have a whole lot. We're running out of time here. I've got something that I think you're going to be pretty happy with in just a little bit. A gift that I'm going to give you, and you're not going to need to worry about that. How do you get booked on the Today Show? Here's how you do it. You have to start in small market. And small market TV. And to get in small market TV, generally you have to start, maybe do some podcast interviews and get comfortable with being interviewed and serving audiences in that format. Okay. Maybe before that, you've done even smaller stuff, right? But eventually what's going to happen is you start small, you work your way up, you do small market TV, then you do medium market TV, then you do major market TV. Then, and only then, my Padawan learner, do you approach the Today Show. After you've been in Chicago or New York or LA local, Atlanta maybe, right? Then you approach the Today Show. They expect nothing but the best. So you can get there. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's absolutely a goal that you can do. If you want to, let's say you want to be on like Tim Ferriss's podcast or Gary Vaynerchuk, you want to do something with Gary Vaynerchuk, guess what? You could do stuff with them. They do stuff with other people, right? You just need to look at who they do stuff with, and you need to look and deconstruct how that person got to that point. Now, a lot you probably not be able to figure it out, but I'm gonna tell you this information that I've talked about in this show, this isn't a show, it's a show, all right. But in this webinar workshop, that's how you get there. You work on your reputation, you serve. I'm a big fan of doing podcasts. Podcasts are generally pretty easy to get placed on, except for the big ones. Big ones, they get hit up all the time. So don't start there. Start with the small ones. Do like 10 small podcasts and then say, what's the next step on the ladder? And then maybe approach some of those and then go do 10 more small ones. And then maybe approach another medium-sized one. And you really do that many. The big deal in PR is the accumulation of all the little deals. Yeah, that's a good tweet. Tweet that, tag me, I'll retweet that. I promise. All right. What's the number one job of a business owner? Well, if you believe like I do in the kind of Michael Gerber philosophy, you'll know that the number one job of a business owner is to grow your business. All right. And so how do you grow your business? I'm sorry, I'm being overly silly. So how do you grow your business? Well, you need to be out serving audiences. Here it is. Here's what it is. Number one, network with influencers. Write this down. Number one, network with influencers, because influencers have the ability to do magic things, wave their magic wand, and all of a sudden you have a 5-figure launch. And that's pretty cool. I like that. That's number one, network with influencers. Number two, you writing this down? Is to serve audiences. You've heard me say that a few times on this show. It's not a show, Josh. So I'm a podcaster, and obviously you can tell I do a lot of media and stuff. Okay, so you got it? Number one, network with influencers. Number two, serve large audiences. What will happen when you do that? You might say, well, Josh, who's going to make the pies? Who's going to design the flowers and arrange the flowers? Hire somebody, okay? Your number one job is to be growing your business, because if you're not growing the business, who is? It's your job, right? You can outsource it to a degree, but generally nobody can represent and promote a business as well as the founder or the start of the CEO. I've just seen that consistently, which is why when you outsource your PR and your brand representation to other people, it's really expensive and it's generally not really effective. So I want to save you from that if you're, not yet at the, big 7-figure level business level yet. All right. So let me give you some examples of some people who did this thing right. And first, here's Harry Campbell, the rideshare guys, podcaster, blogger, and started working with the media. He and I visited. I said, Harry, you're sitting on a gold mine. He said, really? I said, the media is starving for people to talk about Uber, Lyft, because they're always in the news, right? But right now, when the media wants to quote somebody, it's if Uber or Lyft decide to send their PR person out, then they've got someone to quote. Maybe they can find some drivers out there, but that's kind of unproven and untested. Or maybe there's someone who's media savvy like Harry, who runs a blog and a podcast for Uber drivers. And so Harry has now been in the media, well over 100 times. Matter of fact, I think it's a few hundred. You can go to his website. But he and I visited for a while. I said, Harry, you got to do this. He started doing it. And within a few months, Harry was able to walk away from his full-time job as an engineer in California and now pursue his dreams as a full-time Uber influencer. All right. And he's doing pretty well. Next example, Robert Farrington, the college investor. Now, Robert Farrington knows a thing or two about personal finance. So someone like that, if you have specialized knowledge, yes, you could do very, very, very well in the media. And you ought to be doing lots of media and work with influencers. Because again, Robert and I started working together. First 2 weeks, 8 media placements, just simply because, and I think most of those were Harrow as well. So again, when you get the early access, like I said, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Oh geez, boys, this is an outdated slide. So So Mark Ferguson here actually got 55 media placements in 1 month. 55 media placements in 1 month. You can actually go, and we've got a video. If you go to when it talks about our products on UpendPR, I'll show you this in just a second. You watch his video. He explains exactly how he got 55 media placements in 1 month. Here's Shaden Diab in France, and she got on France 24, which is the CNN of France. And she did her segment. She had a unique point of view. And by the way, these guys, you can watch their videos and they'll share with you exactly what they did. But she did her segment. She was coached by us, had a great segment, immediately got invited back to do a second segment. So very, very successful for her. So let's review. I just want to make sure that I gave you the stuff that I promised I was going to give you. So how much money can you save with excellent publicity? Well, a good PR firm will charge you $5,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 a month. So add that up. And, if you find some different solutions, like maybe what I'm going to reveal or what I'm going to share with you here in just a second, you could save yourself tens of thousands of dollars every year and you can get the same results. You really can. How you can easily do this yourself. We talked about that. I gave you a lot of advice on that. First steps you need to do to get started today is work on your authority, get your press kit, all those sorts of things. Where to find the best media contacts? That's Twitter. How to connect? Just be on Twitter. Don't be creepy. Be cool. Serve. And that's really how you're going to get the invitation to be able to send them a pitch. Number one job of an entrepreneur is to grow your business. Don't commit the cardinal sin in the newsroom, and that is to promote, promote, promote. That's not your job. Your job is you're there to serve. If you start selling, you get on TV and you just start selling your stuff, guess what? You'll never be invited back. So don't do that, right? Again, serve. How to get on the Today Show? Got to earn your way there. That's the only way. I mean, you could pay look, I can introduce you to some PR firms in New York City and they will charge you $80,000 and they'll say, we could probably get you on the Today Show in 6 to 8 months, probably. But the way to do that is to get you booked on a lot of small media in your local market, and then eventually we'll get you there. Right? I just told you all you need to do. I just saved you $60,000, $80,000. So now you got $60,000, $80,000 available to you. Let's talk about some different options because you can make a lot of money with publicity. So let's take a look at how upendPR works. And again, we've got a link here. This is our product page, and it just goes through and explains exactly how our products works. We designed upendPR. It's a complete blue ocean product. Nobody on the planet does what we do. If you want PR right now, your only option right now is to either do it yourself or pay an agency and pay agency prices. A small agency startup that's not real experienced, you might be able to find something for under $1,000 a month. Okay. But you're going to get what you pay for. I've tried it both ways. I've hired very expensive PR firms for SavingsAngel and blew $25,000. Unfortunately, I had very little to show for it. You can buy the pricey ones, and there's no guarantees in PR. And here's why I believe traditional PR, there's an inherent problem in the way that it's set up. PR just simply is going to take effort. Is it worth it? Absolutely. You want to become a multimillionaire, you're going to have to do PR, in my opinion. Okay? It's going to take a lot of work. You can either outsource that, or you can find an in-between, or you could do it all yourself, or you can find an in-between solution. That's what upendPR is. So what we do is we treat our members like grown-ups. In other words, if I have a belief that most of the people that we work with, if I make a connection with you to, I say, look, here's somebody you could reach out to CNN. Here's the story. Here's the pitch. You've got the reputation. Like everything is like, you've got like your authority, man, everything is rocking. And then we make that introduction. Chances are you're going to do okay. I believe that. If you want to outsource all of your brand representation, your publicity to somebody else to do all your selling and all that stuff, let me tell you, you're going to burn through a lot of billable hours. So if you got the budget and go for it. Now, when I say that we work with our members and we work together, it doesn't mean it has to be all you. Okay. It can be someone internal on your team. You can hire an assistant for 10, 15 bucks an hour. Okay. We work with a lot of VAs. It works out pretty well. Let me share with you how our different our product levels go. First off, everybody on this webinar, you get a free membership. And I have sold a lot of these memberships at $1,200. I am now giving this away for free. Why? Well, I'm a go-giver. I very much believe in the Bob Burg go-giver philosophy. You give, and you know what? It'll come back to you. Just serve lots of people. And then, people appreciate that. Either they're ready to buy or not, or they'll refer a friend or something like that. And that's what we do. So congratulations. Please enjoy my $1,200 course. All you have to do is just click this green button and it is yours. Then after that, there is our silver membership. Now our silver membership is $3.99 a month. Here's what it gives you. All right. And you can watch these videos and I kind of explain the same thing. Okay. You're going to get live media coaching with a PR or authority expert. Okay. We have office hours, right? All you need to do is just sit in an office hours and you have a PR expert that's going to listen to what's going on and is going to advise you. You have a PR firm on your staff, all included in your $3.99. Okay. Then you get access to our VIP database with over 20,000 media contacts and over 20,000 podcasters. Isn't that cool? You get their websites, you get their email addresses, you can search and find the perfect podcaster or media person that or outlet that you want to connect with. That's available to you. Again, all included at the silver membership. Then you get my Twitter Publicity Mastery video library. Normally we sell that for $100. That's included. That's going to teach you how to make friends with any influencer, how to become a rock star on Twitter, how to use Twitter to get a lot of PR. That will save you thousands of dollars in what you would normally have to spend to a PR agency. Twitter is a very, very powerful tool. Then number 5, you are going to get journalist inquiry monitoring. This is our agency level hero membership. And this is what this is really, I don't want to say a silver bullet, but oh my gosh, if you do this right and you do what we say, okay, there is no reason you should not be getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or more media placements every single month. And by the way, this membership I'm talking about, we guarantee your success. You will get at least one media placement every single month, or you can have your money back. Okay. If you do what we say, right? So just follow our system and it will work for you. And by the way, every media placement you get on average is about an $800 value if you were to spend money to get the same amount of exposure. So you spend $400, you're guaranteed to get $800 in value. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion, and all of our members that are been with us for a long time, we've got hundreds of members, they all agree, it's a no-brainer, it works, it's awesome. All right, number 6, you get community and networking access to other business owners that are successful. They're doing this thing. You can powwow with them. Maybe there's opportunities for collaboration. Every time you come on board, we introduce you, we welcome you, we celebrate you. We really want people to know in our network what you do. And you know what? We've had people that have ended up doing more business as a result of being connected to this network than they're spending in their membership. So that's a great win-win. And this is, again, just one benefit. Number 7, you get email support with us. You get to email a PR professional and we will help you. Now, this isn't for, hey, write my press release and email it back to me, but it's stuff for like questions that we can answer. Okay. Generally, within 5-10 minutes. Okay. Our PR managers have been doing what they do for a long time, but more importantly, not only are they skilled at PR, but they're skilled in our PR, like our way of doing things. And so we're very, very efficient at helping you get results. Number 8, that press kit we talked about, boom. Just go through our press kit builder, just fill it out. We'll review it. We're going to spend some time with you and we're going to help you to get a beautiful press kit put together for your website so that you can increase your success rate. Number 9, we're going to give you pitch ideas on a regular basis. Okay. We give you this via email. We're like, hey guys, this is trending right now. If anybody has expertise in this or this right now, hit up your media and let them know, here's some story ideas, get that out. because a lot of times you just need a reminder. So we're kind of like that personal coach that helps you to do what you are supposed to be doing. Number 10, we're going to help you to become Twitter famous. We're going to get you at least 300 followers every single month. We're also going to review your Twitter profile every 90 days to make sure that you are you're looking like a rock star on Twitter. Because when you're a rock star on Twitter, stuff just happens for you. It really does. We get tons of sales and we get tons of connections. We've had some really amazing stuff happen, much more through Twitter than through Facebook. So if you use it right and you follow our system, you should have really great results. And we believe, and by the way, these are not, you're not buying followers or any of that kind of crap. These are people that they have actively chosen to follow you based on the content that you're sharing. Okay. We've got some really smart systems that we've worked out. Number 11, we're going to promote you. We've got over 50,000 fans across all of our social media channels, and we're going to promote you. We'd love to do that. We've got email list. Again, we're going to promote you because we want you to become successful. Like when you have media successes, that's what we're going to celebrate. Number 12, we're going to alert you when you're mentioned in the media. All right. So we're going to be your eyes and your ears. Anytime somebody says something about you, you're going to know about it. Number 13, we're going to give you a PR and authority audit. And so we're going to give you a report card on how high your authority is right now. You might not like it. You might love it because we're going to reveal exactly what you need to do so you can improve it. And then finally, guys, I am still going and we're still not done with our silver membership. All right. Number 14, we will train your VA. All right. So if you can't do this all yourself, get an assistant, please. Stop doing this all yourself. You're making this way too hard. We'll work with your VA. We'll get them all set up so that they can be doing a lot of this work and you can get on to doing other stuff in terms of growing your business. So we believe that a silver membership, you should get about 30 to 50 media placements every single year. That's a $24,000 to $40,000 value. $3.99 a month. You can upgrade, downgrade, pause, or cancel your membership anytime. And we guarantee that you'll get results. That's a silver membership. If that sounds good, here's the deal, right? If that's where you get off on the elevator, here's what I want to let you know. One thing that I did not mention and is not included, it is only available to people on this webinar, is that when you start, doesn't matter what level you start at, you get 30 minutes with me, right? And I charge $400 an hour. So if you've been on this webinar, you sign up, okay, message me, and there's a lot, you'll see, like when you get in, it's real easy to get a hold of me. You'll get a hold of you'll just communicate, send an email to our help desk system, and you say, hey, please set up the 30 minutes with Josh because I signed up through the webinar, okay? You have to mention that you heard this offer on the webinar, and then you and I will spend together and we'll have a 30-minute strategy session. Sound good? All right, so there's your bonus. All right, and it's only for you. All right, next, gold membership. Gold membership, $7.99 a month, all right? That is worth, you should get about 70 to 90 media and influencer connections and placements each year. That is $56,000 to $72,000 in value. If you were to spend the same amount of money in advertising, okay, again, $800 a pop, it's $800 a month for this. And again, it's also guaranteed. You're going to get at least 2 media placements if you follow our system. So it includes everything from silver, also includes enhanced media inquiry alerts, where we are personally flagging opportunities for you, saying, jump on this opportunity, don't miss this one, or we're sending that to your VA to get that done, right? Also, you get sources beyond Harrow. So we also have some pretty pricey stuff. Let's see, we use ProfNet. We have some social media groups that we're a part of that only we have access to because of because we're an agency. You get those at the gold level. And so you're going to get more and more and more opportunities. Number 16, you're going to get personal contact information for big media and digital influencers. So if you're going to Phoenix, Arizona, and you say, Josh, hook me up, brother. Get me get me all the names and email addresses and phone numbers of all the producers in Phoenix. We will say, coming right up. And we will go and we spend over $7,000 a year for this license. It's for Precision Media Database. Again, it's the gold standard for the industry. So we will create a report, we will share that information with you, and we will strategize with you, and we will tell you, here you go. This is exactly who you reach out to, working with you on the pitch on some of these other things. Bam, you get your media placement, and it's all part of your regular gold membership. You get a 30-minute consultation with one of our PR managers at the gold level every single month. Again, it's not necessarily me, but on the webinar, we get the kickoff strategy session together. But again, as a gold member, you get a PR manager on your staff that you get to meet with 30 minutes every single month. Number 18, you get a LinkedIn authority review every 90 days. We're going to take a look at your LinkedIn and we're going to do a video walkthrough review, and we're going to tell you exactly what you need to change and improve so you can get more and more respect. Number 19, we're going to review your website again every 90 days, unless nothing's changed. Then just, don't ask for it. But we're going to take a look at your website and we're going to tell you what high authority influencers are going to think and say when they take a look at your website. This is extremely valuable, extremely powerful, and don't be surprised if we also give you some tips on how to improve your conversion rate and stuff too, so you can make more money. Finally, number 20, we're going to pitch you to 500 podcasters. We have an opt-in list with over 500 podcasters who have said, yes, I need guests. Who do you got? And we're going to promote you every single month. And you're going to end up getting way more podcasters, podcast placements. That's all included at the $800 level. Okay, it's guaranteed $72,000, $50,000, $60,000, $72,000 value. You can upgrade, downgrade, pause, or cancel anytime. And finally, our platinum membership. All right. And you want to know what our VIP Platinum members get is pretty good. All right. So you're guaranteed 150 media placements via press release every single month. And by the way, you're going to get all told, you're going to get over $100,000 in publicity and advertising value with your Platinum membership. We guarantee you will get at least 3 media placements per month. And if you don't, and you're following our system, we give you your $1,400 back, and we make zero, zip, nilch, nada, because something's wrong with our system. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, nothing's wrong with our system. You're gonna get at least 3 media placements, but just in case you do everything we say, it doesn't work out, you can get your money back. So risk reversal is what we call that. To date, with these products, we've never done. Just so you know, we generally do pretty well. I'm not going to overpromise anything, but I'm just going to say that there is ample opportunity for you to get recognized. So you're guaranteed at least 150 media placements via press release every single month. I want you to brag about those press release placements, and I want you to make a lot of money. I've got videos. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do so that you can make money make a profit from your investment at the Platinum level by just the press releases. Number 22, we're going to personally introduce you to podcasters. So we're going to introduce you to 4 to 8 podcasters via email every single month. And, not all of them are going to result in an interview, but some of them will. And as a result, you should be able to get yourself, again, more media, more placements, more sales, more everything. And then finally, number 23, we're also going to personally pitch you to the media, right? And that's all included at the Platinum level. I'm going to tell you right now that the prices you see on the screen are going up. These are what we call friend prices. This is a limited time. We've recently launched this service, and so it's available to you. And if you join early, we are only going to add more and more value to the membership, right? But because you got in early, you got friend prices. Prices are going up, guaranteed. It's already on the whiteboard, okay? We don't know exactly what date that is. Could be September, could be October, could be November. They are going up across the board, $100 minimum, okay? They really where we expect the prices to be by the beginning of the year is $200 for each of them, just because we know the value that we're providing. We're very much based on value-based pricing. We believe in making sure that we are charging way less than what our members are earning as a result, so that we can have a relationship that lasts for years and years and years. So with that, guys, I apologize. Here's what I'm going to do. And I recognize that there are a few other questions. Here's what I want to do. Please submit your question that I did not answer. I promise that will go to Rachel, Carrie Ann, or myself, and one of us will respond back via email personally with your answer. Okay? So if you want the webinar offer, you got to jump on it. Okay. And also just know that we're going to raise our prices. If we continue to have sales at the pace that we're having them right now, we're going to raise our rates very, very quickly. All right. So I would say don't dally, don't dilly dally. Oh, I was going to mention this. If you look at everything that we offer and you say, Josh, that's great, but I really want even a little bit more hand-holding. It's not necessary because we offer you so much assistance, but just know that it is an option to you if you should ever want it, and that is that you can add a support plan, okay? And those are $600, that's $599 a month, okay? And you can add that anytime. If you want it for 1 month, great. If you want it ongoing and you want our time to do more writing on your behalf and more just PR work that would not be included in everything that I mentioned, we can do that. All right. And so again, that starts at $599 a month. It's not necessary for a lot of our members, but some, where they just, they've got the budget and they really are serious about this, then absolutely you can add it to any level membership and we would be happy to do that work with you. And I will tell you though, that we're doing less and less of that. We're intentionally doing less and less of that just simply because we're running out of time and we're going to start outsourcing that to other people. So if you want to work with me, if you want to work with my team, then I would, and you think that you want a relationship where it's a little bit more traditional agency relationship. Again, we're kind of moving away from the agency model. So I would say if that's something that you want, we really need to chat quickly because we're really kind of closing the door on that. We've systemized, we've productized, and we're really honed in on the things that we do very, very well, very efficiently, and the things that just work like a son of a gun. So there you go. So that is our membership. Please get started. I really look forward to working with you. I'm generally pretty accessible. I do a lot of the office hours myself. So I look forward to our strategy session that we're going to do when you get started. Again, click any of the start buttons, for what membership that you want. Feel free to read through some of our frequently asked questions. You can watch the walkthrough video on this page, and the walkthrough video is going to show you exactly what your back office is going to look like. And you can see exactly all the things that you can click on and that you can take advantage of. So, for us, we just want to be as absolutely transparent and as thoughtful and giving and authentic as possible. And if you do have questions, submit them in the little question box there. Otherwise, you can also email support@upendPR.com. You can also, if you have more of a, Josh, let's talk, more like sales, onboarding type stuff, you can email me. My email address is joshelledge@upendPR.com. And email me personally, either myself or Paul, who is on our team as well. We're going to work with you and we'll help figure out what makes best sense. Because sometimes people are like, Josh, I'm not sure if I need the gold or the platinum, or, should I do this for 1 month and downgrade? We'll help you strategize that and help you figure out what makes best sense for your business. We're really sensitive to your budget. We want to make sure that, whatever it is that you do, you're going to make really good money with. We have a good track record so far, so we're we're not going to let you screw that up on us. But look, I look forward to chatting with you. I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for this time. Hopefully this was super, super valuable. You got a lot of information from this that's going to really empower and bless you in your business. I believe that, we've just seen publicity work do so much good for so many good startups out there. It's been an amazing ride for me, myself in business, with our success, both with SavingsAngel and with upendPR. And I want that for you as well. So with that, thank you for this time that we've spent together. Look forward to working together. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Take care.